Hi everyone, welcome along to today's video. So I've been asked, is there any way I can get rid of the F&E tank in the loft? I'm sure it draws air in and causes a lot more problems than it's worth. It's also filthy rotten in there. I just don't like it. Is there any way around it? And he said, can I just connect it to the mains, the actual coal feed, and just run it that way? But of course you can't. The pressure would be way too much, would destroy everything, literally. But there is a way you could get rid of that roof tank, and it's by using one of these kits that I'm going to show you here. And this is the way you could do it. Now I hear you say, how easy is it to fit? Well, certainly not for the faint-hearted. You need to know a little bit of plumbing, I'm afraid, to actually fit this thing in your airing cupboard. This little kit does come with a bracket to hang it on, so it could kind of go against the back wall. But handily, as I say before, most of the pipes go up through your airing cupboard. I'll show you a little bit more in a very kind of rough, easy drawing I've done in a second. And then you'll pressurise it just like a combi. So it's got good points and bad points though, don't forget, because if, for instance, you've got an old system and you don't know, you may have pipes going under the floor and you may have had a little leak under the floor forever, never known about it, because the little header tank, the F&E, would constantly be kind of just topping it up slightly. You probably would never know. And once of course you pressurise it and it becomes like a combi, any leaks are highlighted fairly quickly because the pressure gauge will drop away. Okay, and once it drops, that really is it. You'll find your stuff running into all sorts of trouble, as there won't be enough water in the pipes. It will start dropping the level down and down, and rads will stop working and so forth. So that's just one bad point about it. Rest is good in that once now you've got a sealed system. Basically just like a combi, it's all sealed up, there's no way air in, and the only way you can get water into the system is by opening the valves on the filling loop and filling it up to the pressure. So it's good and bad, it depends what you want. But if you want to get rid of that F&E tank, then it's the best option. Okay, you can't just connect the mains up to the coal feed and let it go, it will blow everything to smithereens. But anyway, let me show you the little rough drawing. Here then, one Acme drawing of ours. So this is kind of a view of an airing cupboard in a sort of rough way. So we usually have the hot water cylinder down the bottom there. I'm not going to draw that because it's going to confuse the picture. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So we usually have the water main coming up in the airing cupboard. It goes up and it goes round to the main roof tank. It tees off somewhere to the little F&E tank, and this is the one we want to get rid of. So where I put the crosses is where we're going to get rid of the pipe. So basically you can start by turning the main off, and while you're draining the central heating out, you can actually get on with this part. Cut the main through. You can either put a blank there, or you can just join this back up together. So now instead of going to the F&E tank, it goes straight up into the main roof tank. This is now cut off from supply. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, assuming now the central heating is drained, you've got a feed pipe here, comes down here, we call it the coal feed, and this can now be cut. So what we're going to do here, where the X's are, that can all come out into the airing cupboard and cut it right down, because we're going to bring it right down level with our feed when we come across with the expansion vessel pipe, so it's easy to connect onto. So basically all this pipe is gone, can be ripped out. The expansion pipe also now can come out, but not as far down this time. I'm going to cut it higher up so that it's just a bit above the expansion vessel, because what we're going to do is put an automatic air valve in there so that any air is expanded out of the system, automatically done for you. But that bit of pipe with the X's in it can come out. So let's look at the expansion vessel thing itself now. Basically then we're going to tee off the main. Okay, we'll have two valves. They're the filler valves, and that's the filling loop. And that looks like two eyes and a face. Well, not intentional really. Anyway, and then we're going to come across here
and we go up into our vessel. There'll be a gauge, okay, on the side that goes. I'm going to go into all the details of how they fit, but it's very simple when you get the kit. There'll be a pressure gauge there, a bit like a combi, exactly the same. There will be a 3-bar relief valve here and the vessel. The 3-bar relief valve is in case you over pressurize the system. If you do that, this 3-bar valve will release and allow the excess pressure to go down outside or wherever you are running that pipe, whether it's to a drain, into whatever you can find. Anyway, basically most people run them outside. So that's what that's about. Actually, that's probably the hard little bit extra to do. Other than that, once we're talking about getting this thing connected, we're then going with the pipe, bringing it across here, and what we're going to do is we're going to connect it onto the cold feed. So when we turn the valves on, the thing pressurizes and the cold feed pushes down and fills all the radiators up again. Alright, so it's fairly simple, and basically that's it. I mean, I've put it about the cold feed and vent. They connect to heating systems all in different ways because they're all different, which is why I put that down and not draw on the cylinder or all the finer details, because some cold feeds go right down to the boiler, some go halfway down, and I've decided best to leave that out because it's a bit different for everybody. So it's a job not for the faint-hearted, like I said. It is fairly complex but doable, so not too bad.
As I said earlier, probably best to get a plumber in to do this job for you. You need to know what you're doing as regards where you're going to get those pipes cut and where you're going to join the actual expansion vessel and so forth, especially if you're not familiar with it enough. So if you think it's worth it, the actual kit is £60 odd, very cheap. But obviously it's got to be fitted with fittings and stuff and cut across any actual labour time. But if that's what you fancy going for, no little roof tank, no air problems and such, then do go ahead and get it priced up. And if you are up to it, of course, have a go yourself, but only if you are confident enough. Okay, that's it though, just been asked about that one. Anyway, usual place for all my stuff, Derek 33. Thanks for watching guys, bye bye.